Tonight, our main story is about Prime Minister Mark Carney and how he is standing firm against new tariff threats from the United States. This issue is not only about politics, it is about our daily lives, our jobs, and even the prices we pay for groceries and cars. As we explore this, we'll take our time, move carefully through the details, and explain what it means for us as Canadians. But before we begin, let's remind ourselves why Canada's relationship with the United States matters so deeply. The US is our largest trading partner. Every day, trucks cross the border with goods that fill our stores and fuel our industries. Any disruption to that flow affects us directly. Keep that in mind as we move into tonight's story. To understand the tension today, we need to step back. Canada and the US have been bound together by trade for generations. The modern framework is the USMCA, which stands for United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement. This deal replaced NAFTA, and it ensures smoother trade across North America. Now, trade agreements may sound complicated, but simply put, they are promises. Promises between nations that goods can flow across borders with fairness, and that tariffs, or extra taxes on imports, will be limited. Here is the problem. The United States, under its current leadership, is once again threatening to impose new tariffs. That means extra taxes on Canadian products. For us, it could mean Canadian-made cars becoming more expensive to sell in the US, or American goods like farm products costing us more when they reach Canadian stores. Prime Minister Mark Carney has made it clear, Canada will not simply accept these tariffs. He is working to build alliances and stand strong. This is where Mexico comes into the picture. Just days ago, Prime Minister Carney traveled to Mexico City. There, he met with Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum. The two leaders spoke at length about their shared challenges. They agreed to strengthen their cooperation, especially as both countries prepare for a crucial review of the USMCA in 2026. Why does this matter? Because when Canada and Mexico stand together, they are stronger in negotiations with the United States. Carney's message was firm but respectful. Canada is ready to defend its workers, its industries, and its people. Let's pause and repeat that key point. Carney is not acting alone. He is seeking partnerships. That is important to remember. Canada is part of a North American family, and families, even when they disagree, must find ways to work things out. During his speeches in Mexico, Carney emphasized stability. He reminded both Canadians and Mexicans that their economies are linked with the United States, but that doesn't mean they must accept unfair treatment. This balance, cooperation but also firmness, is at the heart of Canada's strategy. Now, let us bring this story closer to home. How could US tariffs affect you and me? First, tariffs raise costs. If the US puts tariffs on Canadian steel or lumber, Canadian producers may sell less, and jobs could be at risk. If tariffs are put on our cars, our auto industry, which employs tens of thousands, could face challenges. On the other side, if Canada responds with tariffs of its own, American goods we buy here could become more expensive. That means prices at the grocery store could rise, especially for imported fruits, vegetables, and household products. This is why trade matters. It is not an abstract idea. It touches the food on our tables, the cars in our driveways, and the jobs our children and grandchildren depend on. Carney's stand, then, is not just about politics. It is about protecting everyday Canadians. Protecting you. Let's pause again and recap. The US is threatening tariffs. Carney is pushing back, forming alliances, and saying clearly that Canada will defend itself. And the reason is simple, tariffs are not just numbers on paper. They affect lives. Now, where does this leave us? The USMCA review in 2026 will be a turning point. Between now and then, Canada, Mexico, and the United States will debate how this agreement should evolve. The US may push for changes. Canada will need to decide when to compromise and when to hold firm. Mark Carney's approach so far suggests a few things. First, he believes in diplomacy, speaking directly, calmly, and with respect. Second, he believes in alliances, standing with Mexico to strengthen Canada's position. Third, he believes in fairness, ensuring that Canadian industries are not left behind. The bigger picture also involves public opinion. Canadians are now being asked to share their views in public consultations on the USMCA. This means everyday citizens can voice concerns and hopes about the trade agreement. That is democracy at work. So, when you think about trade, remember, it is not only leaders in Ottawa or Washington making decisions. Citizens, too, have a voice. And over the next year, that voice will matter. We have seen that Canada is not alone. By building partnerships with Mexico, Carney is showing that cooperation is strength. And we have learned that trade is not a distant issue, it is here, in our homes, our stores, and our workplaces. So tonight, as you turn off the television or put away your tablet, remember this: Canada is standing firm. And as citizens, we, too, have a role in shaping our nation's future. Thank you for spending this time with us at Canada Nowline News. We value your trust, and we look forward to being with you again, calmly and clearly, to bring you the stories that matter. Good night and take care.